Okay. The first issue is people trying to force you to interact with other people that don't fit your personality. Pretty much, you all are unequally yoked. Um, I don't accept your behavior. Your behavior is inappropriate. Your personality does not fit mine. So certain things that you do, I would never do, and I take offense to it. Um, at some point, you have to let people know, stop hiding how you really feel, because hiding how you really feel is only making them merge your personality and shape your personality to what they want it to be. If you feel somebody's ugly, just say it. That person's ugly. Don't worry about the consequences of it or anything like that. You just feel that that person is ugly. Does not mean that you necessarily have to verbalize that, because some of the ugliest people might turn out to be the most beautiful inside. But at the same time, you don't have to change your opinion about the looks or about how they look because of the simple fact, hey, that's just how you feel. I don't think they are attractive, or I don't feel like they're attractive to me. And a lot of times, this is where psychology comes in, where they try to find your type, merge your thought process to be accepting of things that you don't find attractive or things that you don't want to be acceptive of. Remember what I told you about when dating or choosing not to date. Like for me, I choose not to date. But with me choosing not to date at all, I go through several different issues. One of the issues is I might see a guy, and my perspective of the guy is that this guy is not attractive. But something's trying to signal me and say, oh, well, this person is nice looking and whatever, or look at certain things about the person characteristics or the way they walk or whatever the case may be. And honestly, my perception, I don't change. I have chosen not to date, so not dating comes with me disciplining myself no matter how I feel. Maybe I might see somebody that I find extremely attractive, and I mean extremely attractive. I um I pretty much use the same tactic as I use when I'm taking a shot. Look the other way. To maintain my sobriety, or to maintain my abstinence from being partaker into sex or whatever the case may be. I can honestly tell you, when they say don't judge a book by its cover, it is definitely true. Just because a person look attractive doesn't mean that their insides are attractive, or their personality, emotions, or everything else is attractive to match their outer beauty. Um, Outer beauty is one thing, but inner beauty is something that take you to a whole nother dimension. Um, if you find a person, because some people are ugly on the inside and the outside. I don't care what they say. Their ways are ugly. Some of them are ugly, but they hide the manipulation and stuff that they do. Some of them are beautiful, but they're dealing with a lot of different trauma, a lot of different issues. I always say this to tell you not to be unequally yoked. If we don't mesh well, I don't want to be around you. A lot of organizations now tell people to just go with the flow. The rules of the organization, you may read up on rules, and they say, okay, well, if you're a part of this organization, you have to pretty much agree with us if we all agree to do something, even if you don't agree with it. One of the main reasons why, if you're going to join something, you need to be definite know for a fact that everybody that you're joining with have the same mindset, the same personality. If you see one person that has the wrong personality, that's probably not the organization, the group, or the people you want to sit up there and be with. I'm telling you now, because that one bad apple will cause problems for the whole bunch of people that are worth the fight or are worth you one to hang out with and be around. But that one person can destroy many different things by embedding the wrong type of personality and everything. I'm not gonna, for me, I tell people, I'm not gonna agree with you because the majority agrees with you. This is those times where you pretty much the long, they call us the lone wolf, the lone cheetah, the person that pretty much is not with the pack or not with the group. They usually use predator type symbolizations of animals or whatever because they say, well, the lone wolf usually dies in winter, or a lion without its pride eventually dies because it can't hunt efficiently, and that's not always true. There are some that tend to outdo themselves, even being alone. Or they talk about the cheetah, but the cheetah still begins to survive even as a loner. Um, just make sure that if you join something that you know what you're joining, even at work. Another perfect example, and I will tell you, at work they're trying to say you have to deal with a person that you don't want to deal with. Once you notify your superior that there is a problem with you and a certain person because you all are not on the same accord, you should not be forced to work with that person. You need to be with people of like mindedness like you. If forced to work with these people and their mindset is totally different, they're a predator type mindset, they're touching on you inappropriately or making advances towards you that you may not be accepting of, or not even making advances but making threatening statements that should never be acceptable. Remember to voice that and get them from around you. I don't care who or what they are. I don't care if they work under you or over you. um it's unacceptable. Get them from around you because you're not on the same accord. You're unequally yoked. They are not your type of people. They are something totally different. And if you continue to have to associate with them, it causes even more problems. The problems can escalate where one day you are abused and repercussions come on you, but that person has no repercussions because of the fact that they're well connected. I'm not sure, but you do deserve some form of compensation. You do deserve to be removed from that situation. You do deserve to not have to be around that. Never become accepting of certain things that's taking place. Once you have wrote the paperwork, you have done the footwork. Remember, the job, once you go to corporate and you let them know, after corporate, go file legal suit. You will not victimize me at work. So once you talk to the regular person there at the job, you write, make sure you document every situation that takes place, and do the proper channels. Don't just rush and say, "Oh, I want compensation because I want compensation. I want money," or whatever the case may be. No, make sure that you notify them. You do the proper channels. You wouldn't want, if you had your own business, for someone to just come up in there and just keep suing you for no reason, and you're not really aware, or you're more than willing to address the problem, but they're suing you for no reason. So make sure that you do the proper channels. I'm going to start here. If you feel like these people aren't the right people and you have to skip a few channels or skip a couple of levels or a couple of people, do that as well. They may redirect you back to that level. That means that you're going to be in a bad situation for a little while. Document everything. Make sure you report everything. These states does not these issues don't get resolved if we don't speak out on them. There are times when the situation is so bad where you just get up and you just walk off. I can't take no more. And you're at work and you need the revenue, you need the source of income, you need the help, but you refuse to continue to be victimized in whatever situation you're in. And that is not a bad thing. That's just saying you are smart enough to do what you have to do. Remember, do not change your thought process for somebody else. We are creatures that are a part of evolution. No one will ever know your complete thought process if you are allowed to think for yourself and think on your own. They will never be able to figure out your thought process because your thought process is constantly changing and being innovative and constantly evolutionizing itself. So when a person say, I want to figure out this person's thought process, they can sit there all day and constantly, with every little thing they do, your thought process is constantly changed if it's not blocked or prohibited. Never allow them to block or prohibit it. They can say, oh, well, we're studying your thought process. Okay, that's fine. And just continue on your everyday, doing your regular activities, doing what you would normally do, not caring what's what, but make sure that you are aware that your thought process is your thought process and not being impeded upon by another person's thought process. Honestly, I'm telling you this because I know for a fact that people will do certain things to try to make you want certain things. Remember, like I said, you can see a fine person or a beautiful person, and they're nice looking or whatever, but does not mean that their personality is nice looking. They look nice on the outside, but their personality makes them sometimes look horrible. And you can see somebody that's ugly and their ways are ugly and their personality is ugly too. Or vice versa. They are not very attractive, but their personality is very make them who they are and make them very attractive. Um or you can see a beautiful person and everything is just beautiful. Um be careful. You know, like I said, when I took up the decision not to date, I would seek guys that are very attractive. I I looked at the guys and it was like taking a shot. I looked the other way so that I wouldn't be drawn into the wrong perception or the wrong thought process because it's what I want. Sometimes even I have to check my own personality because of what I want, because other things can impede upon what I want. You know, when you make the decision, this is what I want, sometimes the universe has a way or of trying to make you accepting of what others may want for you. You know, that bull in the background, I always call it, those people that watch in the background that keep the BS up in your life to keep you from having or to keep you from reaching your full potential. You're forced to somewhat deal with, but you don't want to deal with, which you shouldn't have to deal with because a lot of them are predators or preying on your weaknesses or whatever the case may be. Not all, but some. Be very careful with the bull in the background when dealing with certain things. When you make up your mind, this is what I'm going to do, it does not necessarily mean it happens right then. Sometimes you go through that time delay. Um, Maybe 10, 20 years, 5 years, 2, 3 years. You have set out your plans, but it's not able to be implemented immediately. So you go through that time delay. Don't get discouraged. Don't get weary. Just try to do what you can do. What's in your control, that's all you can deal with. What's out of your control, you cannot deal with. I cannot deal with anything that I cannot see. But what I can deal with, I will deal with. And that's how you have to live everyday life. Even when interacting with people. I can't deal with the things that I have no knowledge of, I cannot see, and I'm not aware of. Even if you bring it to my attention and I cannot see it, I'm not aware of it, I can tell you what to do. But at the same time, me personally, I cannot address this situation. I can sit up there and I can tell you, hey, you can do this. This may be the best course of action, but you cannot deal with that situation at all. You only can deal with what you have and what you see, what you can address, what you have knowledge of. That's it. So when you're around people at work and your boss is like, well, you're just going to have to deal with them, you make sure you write a letter to his supervisor. Well, they say that I just have to deal with this person or whatever the case may be. I am in a hostile environment. I don't come to work to be in a hostile environment. And then you go and you file that to the office. Do everything you have to do until you get up to the corporate level. And when I say the corporate level, if it can't wait that long, file suit. But at least have the courtesy to not just want to sue everybody, because sometimes in business, a lot of times you don't know. You wouldn't want anyone to constantly keep suing you, doing all of this manner of evil against you. And you're like, look, man, I didn't even know about this stuff. So once you know that they know this is going on, once you have contacted the appropriate people, you have done everything that you were supposed to do. Supervisors know this and that. Do what you have to do for yourself, to protect yourself, to make sure that you're secure, to keep yourself from victimizing situations, because they don't care. Sometimes we end up in the courtroom fighting, and you're going to have to appeal all the way to the Supreme Court. And even at the Supreme Court, you may not get the answers that you want. But at the same time, you took every precaution and every step to take it to the next level, regardless of how you felt, regardless of what you were going through. You took it all the way there. You took it to the highest level. Each state have their own Supreme Court, and then you file with the U.S. Supreme Court. So don't get scared. Don't back out. Don't be fearful about what they're doing. Take it to that level. Do whatever you have to do to protect you, yourself, your family, and everything. Because at this point, becoming a victim is habitualized a lot, and there's not many remedies, but there are some that can possibly help you cope somewhat with the situation that is taking place. So, like I said, don't be around people that you are unequally yoked with. You're not my cup of tea. We're not equally yoked. We're not like-minded. No, I'm not joining your organization because certain people in your organization do not have the same mindset as me. No, I'm not joining this. Remember, it's nothing wrong with not joining organizations, frats, or whatever, and stuff like that. If you don't believe in being abused, they're talking about, oh, you going through hell week. And you say, no, I'm not going to go through any weeks of hell. That's not my mindset. I don't feel like I should have to. I go through hell in everyday life. I don't want to go through hell to join a group, you know? So my life every day is hell. The life that I lived was everyday hell. So I don't want to join your group and go through hell too. So to not join certain things and to not be a partaker of certain things and not affiliate with certain things is, or not to be involved with certain people with these type of behaviors, because if you can do all of that in hell week, I can only imagine what you will do to your enemy or me later on. You get what I'm saying? It's to make you accepting of victimization. Never, never accept that. Um, you guys have a great day, week, whatever, and hopefully these words encourage and inspire you.